this very special event of Savitri Art Exhibition inauguration, the most special and very close to our heart, this day and this event. And I thank you all for joining us this day. Without much delay, I invite Dr. Jayanti Ravi and our dear Helmut and Hamlakshmi and our Manojta and our senior artists Ushadi and Padmati to light the lamp and inaugurate this very special event for us.
भगवते श्री अरविन्दाय ॐ नमो भगवते श्री अरविन्दाय.
Mother says, Savitri is something concrete, living. It is all replete, packed with consciousness, the supreme knowledge above all human philosophies and religions. It's with that force and power of Savitri that Savitri art was born. Yesterday we were having a small sharing circle and we were looking back at our journey. It has been a dream that we never dreamt of. But if it has to be a person who conceived it and who kind of saw the seed falling on earth, I think it is Divyanshi, who's been like the mother of this whole project. I invite her to share her journey of birthing Savitri painting course as well as Savitri art and this whole journey of Savitri artists with us. Thank you, Sahana. Thank you, Dr. Jayanti Ravi. Thank you, Helman. Thank you, Dhanalakshmi. Thank you, everyone, for being there. In many ways, this project is, yesterday we were reflecting on it in this pre-scheme. I can't even say it's a dream come true because it's a dream I could not have had. It's so much beyond what, I could have conceived of. And today I just take you through how the journey step by step took us to this stage, and we just kept taking one step at a time and Mother kept revealing, and it kept growing larger than what any one of us in our individual capacities is capable of. And Mother can see our light so much better than what we can see in ourselves, and this journey is a reflection of, in many ways, just that. So March 2020, the first lockdown was announced. On the day of the first lockdown, after about a week, there were a group of women who contacted me, and these are some of those women: Priya, Pritu, Sandhya. Priya sitting in France, Sandhya I think in Bangalore, Pritu in some little village. So these three women contacted me and they said that with COVID taking over the world, we feel gloomy. Can we read Savitri together? And that is how the journey began. I said, yes, these are all the women very dear to me. They've been volunteers with us for a long time. They have been participants to our programs and very deeply aligned to Mother Sri Aurobindo. So I said, yes, we can read Savitri together. And then as we started reading Savitri together, what began to come out in the beginning, I remember we would read 3-4 pages, and as we were reading more and more, we were wanting to read less and less, not more and more. And by the time it was the 5th or the 6th session, we were already on just 4 lines in an entire 1.5-hour session. And then Preetu, the girl in the middle, she said, why don't we spend time just painting or coloring or expressing what is, because yesterday Jagannath was saying, this is one book. You can really just open and instantly experience that vastness, that silence. It's like instantly something, the tonality of the place begins to really shift. And what better way than painting? Because painting allows you to stay with the same line for the next half an hour. You just stay with the same line and you paint. And that's how it started. With that, gradually this process of painting was really delightful, very, very deep. And I'm a person who's always found sitting meditation very difficult. So I remember, I used to go to Matrumandir every day with Manoj, but over a period of time I was realizing that something else is required for my journey. And finally I found it through Savitri painting, because it's a method that is dynamic. It's just dynamic. You are in practice while you're meditating, and it takes you to such a deep space. So yes, this is how the first Savitri painting, which is a course, the first Savitri painting took birth. It was 12 women invited. It was not an open course, it was 12 women specially invited for a journey of experiment, 12 weeks, and I was one of those 12 women. So that's how it began. And then, yes, these are all some of the paintings I made during the Savitri painting course. One, of course, it was just such a joy in painting and expressing through colors. And this joy is taken to a completely new, different level when the guiding light behind that expression of vibrancy is the lines from Savitri. So these were some of the expressions that, I did, but not just I. There was like a bed of paintings made for each of those 12 women in those 12 weeks. And that ultimately led us to also see one thing, which is over a period of time, particularly when you're not making a painting for impressing anybody, for showcasing, when you're really making a painting to the best of your sincerity, as an expression of however deep you can go in the moment, over a period of time, some patterns began to emerge in the paintings. And over a period of time, we felt that most of the participants had that one or two paintings that they really felt that this is expressing something of my deeper essence. And that is what we started calling as the mantric painting or the soul mandala. These are rough captures of what is really, really emerging through the paintings. But one or two paintings always felt like, something of that we were able to capture. And many of us have gotten, even though, in the course, none of them are artists. It's meant to be a course for seekers and not for artists. And even though they're not perfectly drawn, each one of us still felt that with these one or two paintings, I want to stay with it. Just the colors that I put, just the forms that I put. There's something very beautiful about it. So yes, November 2020, we concluded the first Savitri painting journey. So these are the women from the course and some of the men who joined us in the final presentation. Next slide. Yes, thereafter, this 12-week journey opened up to men and women both. And the only reason in the beginning, by the way, I chose women, it was nothing discriminatory like that. For some reason, I energetically felt like that, and Savitri also being a woman in that sense, it felt like that is where the seed has to be created. I can't logically give you a reason why, but I can tell you it was nothing like trying to so yes, then the 12 weeks journey we made it shorter into a 5-week journey. We took up the best things from the 12 weeks journey and knit together and did Savitri 2.2 and 3.0 in January and February 2021. And thereafter, in April, usually during the year, once a year, Manoj and I take a retreat. And that's the time I went for Vipassana. And that is the time where this came in very, very strongly. Certain visions came in very, very strongly. And a certain inner necessity or need was felt that I want a painter to paint these visions. I can't express what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing is very beautiful. I want to see it on paper. That's when, I came back. And actually, two of these things emerged during Vipassana. One was Savitri art, this need for outer perfection also has to come about in the painting, and the second one was Anatta. And both of these projects, took a life of their own. Anatta is a course anchored by Manoj, and this is one of the insights I got during Vipassana, that I'm sitting next to on one hand, Mantramandir on the other hand next to Manoj. Why don't we create a course which helps people go deep into silence, but not in an aesthetic way, in an integral way, in a way that is grounded in the works of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So that is Anatta, and the second project was Savitri art, which is I was receiving certain visions, and I really want somebody to put it on paper, because I don't have the hand for it, I don't have the skill for it, and that is how. Next slide. Yes, I got in touch with these three ladies, Usha, Padma, Sahana, the one who's been coordinating the project. Usha and Padma had been participants of the Savitri painting course, but one could really see, and I knew they were artists from beforehand. But most of the time, Padma earlier used to copy paintings of great artists. Usha used to also create, and she was really, she has an academy also, an art academy back in Philippines also. And she was really aspiring that now onwards I only want to do spiritual paintings at that time. So I took these two people with whom I saw there's a potential of art, and our dear Sahana. Sahana was a complete non-artist, but there was such a lot of love for Krishna, such a lot of joy and vibrancy in her paintings, that something in me said, okay, we'll have Sahana also on board. And I'm so grateful that I did that, because she's now the one who's made this project her baby, and she's the one who's doing all the coordination work. So with that, yes, it began with giving them vision paintings, the visions I received through Vipassana, and actually these vision paintings were the toughest. And they were the toughest because it's one thing that you've received the vision and you're putting it on paper. It's something when somebody else is giving you a vision, to really treat it as your own, to not have that distinction that this is not my vision, to just really make it your own, and more than make it your own, also tuned into. It's not about Divyanshi's vision or what am I trying to paint. It's about what is trying to get painted on paper. And believe me, I mean, in my experience, this is the part is just the toughest. And in many ways, this later on became a selection process of taking people in the Savitri Art Sangha, because it requires an incredible surrender of the ego to be able to do something like that. And so these are the three vision paintings, one by Sahana, one by Padma, one by Usha. A particular mention about the one painting by Usha. And Usha is we've contributed 150 paintings. We are offering 150 paintings by Sri Aurobindo's 150th. Half of those paintings are actually just by Padma and Usha. Actually, 100 out of 150 are by Padma and Usha. The other 50 are by Vaska Mount. And now you see the way Usha paints. It's just a joy to see her. There is no feedback that one can really give her apart from minor here and there. But it really began with that one painting that you see. And this one painting has 50 drafts behind it, and this is in watercolor. And unlike oil paintings, you can't do corrections on watercolor. You have to make it afresh. You have to make it afresh each time you receive a feedback. And I remember we reached a point where literally Usha was to this point, maybe I'm not meant for this project. And I'm glad we had a breakthrough. I'm glad that that journey that we had, it taught me a lot. And more than anything else, for somebody as senior as Usha, to have that humility to receive feedback is something that I really learned from her. It got me back to another memory of a time when I was working with some designers. And I remember how sensitive the designers were to feedback. Like, this is an expression of something that has come from me. You can't give me feedback. And the humility with which Usha would receive feedback, being so senior, being so good at what she does, that was a truly humbling process. Yes, so these are the multiple sketches, rough drafts that went before we began to come to that painting. And a lot of feedback with Usha used to be on the expressions. And they would meditate a lot on Buddha's paintings. They would read a lot of what Mother has written. And they would really meditate on conceiving, more than what is the technique or how should I paint the eye? Can I meditate on what is the inner expression that the eyes have to represent? And that was really quite a process. And I'm so happy because one of the paintings, and she's gifted me one painting, I put it just right in front of my bed. I wake up to her painting every morning. And one of the beautiful things I personally find in her paintings is the expression on the face, the way she does the eyes, the meditative open eyes, the way she's able to do is one of my favorite. And this is all the work that went behind the first painting that I did with Usha. Yes, like I said, vision paintings, according to me, this is also one of the vision paintings by Sahana. Yes, it is very tough. One really requires to go beyond the ego. One has to learn to give feedback, to learn to receive feedback, and one has to really learn to surrender. What is it that is trying to birth, and can I be as pure as possible to be able to receive it? Of course, we all have our own mixtures. We're not like all fully clean, but as much as possible in the moment, can I be pure to receive what is trying to birth? Yes, and then I also got with myself a team of reviewers, because what I also understand, given the fact that I am not an artist, it will require a team of people. So Manoj, who's a designer, we have Archana, who has a very fine sense of aesthetic and beauty, and Shashankata from the ashram, who's an artist, and who's very beautifully painted Sri Aurobindo's essays on the Gita. So this is the team that went through all the paintings and have selected 150 paintings and would give feedback to the team, and they would do drafts and redrafts. So after first few sets of paintings, I realized I can't do it alone. I need a group of people who can do it together, particularly on the technique front and the art front of things. And yes, this was our first offering. It happened online through a webinar on Zoom, along with the launching a video exhibition on the Integral Education Portal's YouTube page channel. It is now, I think, called Poonam Community Channel. So yes, this was the first video exhibition that we launched, and in launching the video exhibition, a video artist was born, which is our dear Surya on the recording here. And he's the one who put those 21 paintings together with Sahana's voice, Sunil's music, and just gave that golden touch and created a very beautiful video. So that was our first offering of 21 paintings. Thereafter, in October 1st to 3rd in 2021, we invited a group of volunteers who were contributing towards Savitri painting course, or the key artists from the Savitri art group. We invited them for a small retreat that happened. We were posted with Dominic at Aditi Graha, and that was the time when we first sort of presented the video. Next slide. And yes, that is the time where Shraddha could also see the paintings, and I'm so glad that that she could really come, and we could offer 10 of the paintings at that time to Savitri Bhavan. So this was the first time we presented. We can go through a few more photos. I think I put a few more. Yes. Yes, and this is the retreat during which, while going back, I think we were in a car from Pondi saying bye-bye to these guys, or I don't exactly remember where this idea came. This aspiration came, why don't we do 150 paintings by Sri Aurobindo's 150th? And Sri Aurobindo's 150th was coming. I remember Manoj already started talking about Sri Aurobindo's 150th about 4 years ago. And as it was getting nearer, I was like, okay, what is it which is going to be our baby project? Our baby offering, our little offering on Sri Aurobindo's 150th, and then this one came about. And actually at that time, Usha had said after 21 paintings, I'm quitting the project. She was not keeping well. She said, I want to focus on my health. But the moment she heard, we want to offer 150 paintings as a gift to Sri Aurobindo's 150th, and with the encouragement of her husband in particular, she came back onto the project again, which was a big boon because, like I said, 50% of the paintings are basically 50, no, not even 50, 100 out of 150. 2/3 of the paintings are just by Usha and Papa. Yes, and after that, more artists began to come. These are all students of the Savitri painting course, which is not about art, which is more about using painting as a tool of inner growth. From that pool of alumna, we invited few of them with whom we felt that there is a possibility, there's a potential. So more artists began to join, and I remember in the car when I said 150 paintings by Sri Aurobindo's 150th. Sahana and Padma started thinking that, these 3 people are going to be making all the paintings. And I said, no, we will have more people come in. You just have to trust they will come. And then they came and they are now here. The next slide. Yes, and thereafter, every Darshan day, we launched a set of paintings in the form of a video exhibition on the channel. It is here, I've written it as Individual Education Portal. The name has changed to Bhuvan Community now. Next slide. Yes, and the last video production, the last offering was indeed very special, because in that offering, one, by that time, our Sahana had gotten married, and two, a lot of people helped us from the ashram in order to put this together. Swaram really helped us, Aurelio really helped us, Zek really helped us. This is the first video production where we did our own music. Until now, we were using Sunil Das music. This is the first time we did our own music, and we did a little chanting also. The chanting is in Sahana's voice. This is also the first combined project of Shantanu and Sahana coming together, because Shantanu is a musician from the ashram. And yes, the two of them kind of came together, Sahana's voice, Shantanu's music, and this is the video we will be playing today. So this was a special milestone. This happened on 30th of May, which is the Uttarpara Speech Day. And thanks to Bhavna for helping us conceive of this project, because after 24th April Darshan Day, the next Darshan Day was 15th of August. And we required one more Darshan Day to keep the momentum and the creative pressure going. And he said, yes, there's Uttarpara Speech Day, and that is how we offer. Slide. Yes, and by June, thankfully, we were able to finish all 150 paintings. And the reason why we finished it by June is because after they were finished, we have been all photographed. First, they were shipped because the artists are from different parts of mostly India and Kamala and Padma from abroad as well. The logo is the logo designed by Jaganmai, which is the Savitri Art 150th logo stamp that she's. Yes, and also what started happening around June, May and June. One, of course, we finished the paintings, but also more and more Savitri facilitators and artists began to come to Auroville, and several of them are also now beginning to take the lead and starting their newcomer process. There is Surya, Padma, Sahana, Palak, Ram, all either as friend of Auroville or taking the entire lead. Leaving your job and starting the newcomer process is something that many of them are underway. Yes, and also around that time, we were parallelly, our Savitri painting courses were going on. And in one of the courses, Devi participated. Now, Devi is the wife of Shankar, and Shankar is the one who anchors Karan, which is an IT unit of Auroville, which builds community softwares for Auroville. And thank God, Devi liked the course, Devi fell in love with the course, and she got her husband Shankar to attend the final presentations. And Shankar at that time was really intrigued by the NFT coming in the world, and he was working on an NFT platform, and he proposed, why not, we create NFT for Savitri art. And at that time, I was like, what is NFT? I had no idea what is blockchain. I'd heard about these words, but they were very distant and very far. It's like computers in the age where computers did not exist. क्या होता है वो? तो Shankar was very passionate, and even Manoj was very passionate. He saw, yes, future is with NFT, and I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand, what is NFT and how does it work, and that entire world. It took me some time to understand. But thanks to Shweta, thanks to Manoj, thanks to Shankar, and Nitin, who's here from Kagam as well. These guys persuaded me that no, we are going to stick to this project. So the project of Savitri Art NFT started going, and Nitin, correct me if I'm getting it right. I'm going to tell them what is NFT. Finally, I'm going to tell you. NFTs are non-fungible tokens, and it's a way of storing digital assets, digital art pieces, which is also the reason why all 150 paintings have been converted into digital art in high quality, and they are made available on an NFT platform along with meditations curated by Adya Shelley, she's here, and instructions on how to print it in high quality and how to use, a piece of Savitri art for deepening, for your inner journey. So yes, that is what has been put together on the website. These are basically digital art pieces that one buys. It's just one more last thing. In many ways, the Savitri Art NFT project is also a fundraising project because we have more and more of volunteers joining Auroville, beginning the journey in Auroville. So the money that will be coming through that channel will also be used to basically support these people integration with Auroville. So yes, as the NFT project got conceived, it became very urgent and necessary that the photos of the paintings cannot be clicked from phone. It had to be clicked properly, and that is when we got in touch with Manu Bahugana, who's sitting right here, and he introduced us that this is not called photography, first of all. He said this is copying art. So that is also an art, and I was absolutely mind-boggled, mind-blown with the kind of knowledge that he has, and I had no idea the kind of yeah, the kind of hard work it takes to simply photograph an existing art piece perfectly. It's really a world in itself, and yeah, I mean sometimes you can talk to him, he can talk to you for hours all together on this subject. So he did a workshop for us, and then we had several photography sessions. Next slide. That is our Sahana trying to photograph. And then we had a little photo art copying team, Rahul, Sahana, and our dear Surya with the legwork under Manu Mohana's guidance, and that is how we completed photography of the 150 paintings. And then putting all these paintings together, we selected 24 paintings and we put it together on the NFT platform. So yes, mid-May onwards, Talam started making the NFT platform. Shweta was the coordinator of the project. I don't see Shankar here, but Nitin is here. So Nitin, Shankar, Niharika did the frames, the wireframes of the website. There is Vishal, who's a JavaScript volunteer. It's a project completely done by volunteers. At one point in time, this is really like, high-end technology, and it's not so easy to get volunteers in this particular field. And if you go outside and get a quotation for a work like that, it goes in lakhs and lakhs. Whereas thanks to the deep generosity of Shankar, it has been fully done as a gift, freely given to us as a gift, and hours of deep work sprint with snacks at their home that has gone behind making the platform happen. And yes, today as we speak, just yesterday night, I guess, we launched the platform. We managed at midnight to launch it before the inauguration. So yes, I've already explained NFTs. And you can, one of the misconceptions people have about NFT is you can't use, you can only use blockchain. It's only, you can use blockchain, but no, one can contribute through whatever means that is possible by oneself. Okay, I know what to put the website. The website is nft.audible.org. Please do check it out. And yes, as a part of the NFT, we are gifting a special Savitri art guided meditation for each of the 24 paintings with a lot of meticulousness and detail. Shelly, Krati, Raka, who's not here, Surya, we've all put together for each of the Savitri art paintings of those 24 that we've selected a guided 10-minute guided meditation that can really help you assimilate that painting. And yes, our Jalanmai has also, along with the NFT, which is a digital art asset, we are also giving how to use the painting for meditation and how to print it in high quality. Because that is another, I realize, in this process there's been so much of learning. Printing a painting in a way that it looks like the original is itself a whole lot of exploration and work. So yes, we've put together in very simple words how to proceed with that. Yes, this is an opportunity to support Art for Education initiative. I will really talk about that. This is the website. Yes, and then in the beginning of August 2022, we had the absolute privilege and blessing of exhibiting some of our paintings at Sri Aurobindo Ashram as a part of homage, where several other artists who've made paintings inspired by Sri Aurobindo's works exhibited their paintings, and this is our Namita, Usha, Sahana, and Manoj in front of 3 Savitri art offerings. These are some of the photographs. Yes, and now with that, we come to here and now, to the present. We began in March 2020. We've now reached today. And today we welcome you to the Savitri Art Exhibition. It's in the square room, so just after the inauguration, really take our time to go through the exhibition. The exhibition would be in the square room from today till the 29th, apart from Sundays, 9 to 5 p.m. And we also have a community sharing where each of the artists will be sharing their 3 key insights and learnings from their paintings, the process of making their paintings on the 27th of August, which is the Saturday this week at 5 p.m. So would really like to see all of you along with your friends come and listen to the journeys of the budding artists. Yes. Yes, we also have, thanks to Talam, Savitri Art Virtual Gallery in the making. This is also an idea given by Dr. Jayanti Ravi, and but this is still in the making. We had it came in just a few weeks before 15th of August, and we tried really hard to do it by 15th of August, but it is really tough to get it in a quality that is satisfactory, and it's a high-end modeling skill, and putting it all together in the form of a virtual art gallery. So this is still in the making, but you can be kept posted about this by subscribing on the website. We'll be sending emails whenever we launch the Savitri Art Gallery. Yes, and that we come to a closure. There are so many names perhaps that I haven't taken today. There's so much of generosity and self-giving and love of the entire Sri Aurobindo Ashram and the Auroville community, and lots and lots of devotees that have gone behind making this project happen. Perhaps I don't even know all the names because Sahana is being supported by so many people. So I'm sorry if I have not thanked somebody in the presentation. There is Tapas who's given us this lamp, Jaya who supported us with some of the frames, Dhanalakshmi who's here, Uma who's taking care of the Savitri Hospital where some of them are staying, Murugan who really helped Sahana and put together the paintings and all the different workers. There is Helmet, who's really been there and been, also he attended the 30th of the video presentation, and I'm always deeply amazed that he's such a senior person, and I really mean it when I say he's such a senior person, because I see with so much of humility, sometimes he's attending to small little details, and I wonder, like, he's such a senior person and he doesn't really need to be doing it, but he does it with so much of love that it really well. And sometimes I receive an email when I'm working in Savitri Hospital, and I wonder, but Helmet is such a senior person, somebody has to do it. And at that age and the stage of life also that he's at, with so much of hands-on and humility and quiet love and presence that he's given to this project. There's Gopal, Gopal is not here today, who's did the gifts for the Savitri artists. There's Shweta on the coordination of Savitri Art Project. There's Ram on the VR team, and there are many more people that I've probably forgotten to thank. But most importantly, wanted to just end with thanking Shraddhavan. And I have always a very distant relationship with Shraddhavan. I was a bit scared of her also, a bit shy also. So I would not be able to sometimes even go and approach and say hello. Would feel a bit shy. But I remember one of the first projects I did in Auroville was at Savitri Bhavan. And the kind of faith that she showed in me to allow to do that project has been very instrumental in my journey, very touching. That she could have that faith in me when she knew nothing about me. And with so much of with so much of faith, because I did a series of lectures in Auroville, and I thought, maybe she will come and monitor whether am I doing it well or not, because I'm a new person. But she could just trust, and the kind of trust that she showed, that has been very humbling for me. And just with open-heartedness, how she welcomed Savitri Art, and how she accepted the 10 paintings that we gifted. It's Savitri has been her life's work, and it's a great privilege to be doing this here at a place birthed by Helmet and Shraddhavan together, a place that is meant for Savitri. Now we come to the most important part of today's event. We will be inviting the artists and just celebrating them with flowers. And I request Helmut to come and give flowers to each of the artists. So we have our most senior artist, who is Usha, and she doesn't require an introduction. We have already seen her, in Divyanshi's presentation. More than 50 paintings are by her, and she's so rich in her visions. I call her Mirabai in our Savitri Art Sangha. She brings such a lot of devotion to the space and such a lot of sanctity in the process of making painting. Please come, Usha. This is our dear. And then we have our dear Padmadi. Yeah. So Padmadi is another lady who brings a lot of devotion and a lot of surrender. We call her the pink lotus. She always has a lot of lotus in her paintings. Viluji is from Mumbai. She's a very senior person. I don't know, maybe in her 80s. She's not here with us, but we just want to acknowledge and thank her. And our dear Namita, who is also part of Diksha, she's like that delicate flower. She comes up with such simple paintings, yet a lot of presence in those paintings. Then we have Chira. Chira with lot of perseverance, with lot of feedbacks after feedback has contributed 2 paintings. This is one of his paintings. Chira. And then a set of paintings joined us almost like maybe 2-3 months back in the month of April. One is our dear Subhashri, though she joined late, many paintings of hers in watercolor medium. This is one of my favorite. She also comes with a lot of surrender. Welcome, Subhashri. And then another senior artist, Subhaji from Mumbai. You can see her senior, how senior she is. She's also an artist, she's been painting for years. Yet, with openness to learn, to read National Value of Art, every Sunday morning, 6 o'clock, she comes with us. And with a lot of frankness in her old way of painting and ability to receive the new way of painting, that brings a lot of joy to the space. Thank you, Subhaji. Then we have Vihaji, who is not with us. She had been here for the Darshan day, she has just left. But she's also another senior person who was with us. And we have Chaitanya. I think she's the youngest. We have seen her, yesterday only. We haven't met her at all. So Chaitanya, welcome. She also brings, as delicate as that painting and yet a lot of presence in it. Pink behind pink, yet that little buds come out. I don't know how she does it. It's purely magical. Some of her paintings are there in the exhibition. And then our Kamila, first time in India from Netherlands, and 10 years of aspiration to come to Auroville, come to Shivindra and the mother. She just joined in the month of June, and we have one of her paintings. You can see that delicacy in the painting. And our dear Jaganmai, late entry but with a lot of power. She's also an artist and very good at anatomy, human anatomy, which most of us miss out on. Jaganmai has been with us for creating graphics and posters and all of that, even the logo that you saw. She has been totally giving herself to the entire process. Thank you, Jaganmai. And we have Ramadi, who is not with us. Maybe she'll be there for 27th when we have community sharing. She's from Chennai. She has been with us since the beginning. Yeah, thanking everyone. A lot of gratitude. Thank you, Ma'am. Thank you so much. We just wanted to extend our gratitude to the entire Savitri Bhavan team who have been with us as a great pillar of support and also encouragement. We do these little events and they're with us with lot of joy and lot of sincerity. Whatever we do, they're just there.
even Murugan, Ved, Dhanalakshmi, all of you, thank you so much. Means a lot. Doing this here in Savitri Bhavan, it's a great privilege and a great blessing. We feel really humbled to be in this space, call ourselves artists, and do this little exhibition. Thank you so much. Thank you. And with that, with a lot of gratitude for all those who have supported us in this process. We see 150 paintings, but a lot of support from back end whom we may not see here. But with a lot of gratitude for the entire team who have been with us. When we say Savitri Art Sangha, it's not only the artists, but many more people who have just supported us with their goodwill also. So remembering all of them, and it's a humble offering at the feet of the Mother towards 150th birth anniversary of Sri Aurobindo. We welcome you all.
And presenting the last artist, Sahana. She also comes to see down. She began with a lot of vibrant colors in her painting, and now if you look at this, a lot more subtlety, a lot more silence that has come in her paintings. And in many ways, it's a combination of subtlety and increasing, growing subtlety, and yet there is an intensity and vibrance and enjoyment of colors that we find in her painting. She's also quite like, she has her own style with a lot of lines, and even the way she would do the sari, please have to be very proper. So you see a lot of lines in her paintings, so she brings her own style. And thank you, Sahana, for being the figure of this project. And then if you would like to say a few words.
Well, I looked at it a lot, and it's a very unique exhibition. Unique because definitely it cannot be judged with the words and the rules people apply normally in art appreciation or anything like this, because it comes from a completely different source. It's not just about ideas or expression of the personal vital or anything like this, which is very much appreciated in art nowadays. It comes from a completely different source, which has to do with inner experience and the study of these wonderful poetry lines of Savitri.
Okay, with that, Namita and Chirag can be escorting you towards the exhibition. Please. Thank you, sir.